Hello and welcome in. This is Divination Rainbow. Today we are doing a pick a card reading where we are going to be looking into a choice that you are being faced with at this time, and we're going to get more information on what the next aligned path will be for you to take. And this may be a choice that you didn't even realize that you had, that you will soon be presented with. So I would encourage you to take a moment now and look at the cards on the table before you, feel through the energy, and choose which one or which ones resonate with you the most. I will include timestamps in the description, and I will see you in your reading. All right, if you chose this card with this cute little polar bear, the leadership card, then this is going to be your reading for today. This card is carrying the overall energy of someone who will do whatever it takes to survive, even if they are in a hospitable environment or in a place where things have changed around them to the point where they may not really be familiar or grounded anymore. They're still going to persevere. This is somebody who has a lot of self-love and a strong intuition and a very divine connection with the universe. You could be in a point right now in your life where you are responsible for a lot of the people around you. You could be a leader in your community or in your family, or you could be recently been thrust into a leadership position in your workplace. And for some, I'm hearing like local government as well. So that's very interesting. Let's take a look at the choice that you're soon to be faced with and what the potential outcomes are to help you with choosing your most aligned path. This first card is going to represent the choice. So it's letting me know here that there could be something where you're needing to maybe get to a point of having a little bit more pursuit of what is really important to you, being able to connect with your heart. You're going to be faced with a choice that is going to be related to those desires. So I'm seeing if you say yes or if the outcome is favorable to you, that it's going to put you in a situation where you're gathering more intelligence, where you're getting more information, where you're feeling very hopeful, and where you're moving forward with clarity. The opposite path is putting a situation before you where you will likely be not able to really move forward quickly. It could put you in a place of feeling like you don't have much going in the way of prospective new opportunities. And I'm seeing like burning bridges, having relationships and cycles closing out in a way that may not be in the best way. What more can we see about this favorable outcome where it's going to be putting you in this very hopeful energy? Yeah, so that is also going to go right along with seeing through anything that you thought was maybe not quite what it seemed. And it's putting you in a situation of being fully in your power. It's putting you in a situation of really that leadership energy with the Emperor here. And really knowing that you have what it takes to see this through, even though it maybe have recently been kind of a cold time for you. And what about with the other outcome, the other potential path here, where things may be not quite so favorable? What can we see about this Ace of Wands in the reverse? You kind of already know how this is going to turn out. And it's something that you maybe even manifested in during the full moon. Okay? It's something that puts you in a place of being able to kind of celebrate with your community, honestly. It puts you into a place where you are still going to have this belonging, but maybe not so much of an authoritative stance. We see you here now as more of the person who maybe is manifesting in their desires and getting to a point of coming into touch with their spiritual or mystical gifts and their intuition, as opposed to an energy of somebody who is really a powerful driving force forward, who is really a commanding presence. So, what is the overall energy here? Yeah, being able to root yourself, being able to ground yourself, being able to get into that community, and being able to implant yourself there in a way, embed yourself there in a way, because people are depending on you and they're drawn to you and they need this from you, and it's going to require a new identity. It's going to require a rebirth and a resurrection. So it's really putting you in a situation where being hopeful, being able to gather more information, being able to see through illusion, and being able to get into a place of power is one potential path that we're seeing here. And then we're also seeing here that it could be putting you into a little bit of a delayed action, could be forcing you into a situation where you're going to have to rely more on your inner knowing, which will eventually lead you into a little bit more of a safer community, but it's not going to have you in a position of power, so to speak. So maybe you're having to make a choice right now about whether or not you want to take this leadership opportunity. Maybe you're being put in a place right now of having to decide whether or not you are going to accept a promotion or step up in a way in your family life. And this is if you say yes, and this is if you say no. Either way, things are going to work out for your highest good. So I would say to meditate on this decision and use your discernment. And as you do continue to move forward, we see here this card just literally fell off as I reached over to grab the other oracle deck here. And that's really funny because it's the King of Pentacles. Once again, just letting you know that you are going to be able to ground yourself. Okay? You are going to be able to get to a point of achievement and having what you need and having yourself really fully rooted. So to close this out today, what archetypes can we bring in here that will kind of allow you to move forward with more confidence? There it is. You're somebody who has a lot of luck, you're somebody who has a lot of blessings, and you're somebody who once again has a commanding presence. You can do this if it's what you want, and it's already there for you, and they just need to really kind of just crown it, kind of give you your prize. You're already somebody who other people see as a figure of authority, and you're also the type of person who naturally draws abundance into your life. I see you as being a really unique individual, and that's likely partially where a lot of these kind of blessings and gifts come in for you, and these opportunities present themselves because of that. And I also would say here that you're the type of person who does things from a place of good intentions. You're the type of person who is going to be successful no matter what you do, and it's because you're a good person and you deserve it. Don't let yourself get lost in the sauce trying to be the perfect person, and don't overthink this choice. No matter what decision you make, just knowing that blessings are coming in and that you are going to make the choice that is going to take you into alignment. Trusting that before you decide is the best thing you can do for yourself. That really feels like the message for you if you chose the leadership card today in this first pile. If you saw any other cards that stood out to you in a way that you're curious, feel free to go check out those piles as well. But if this is where you're leaving off, I do appreciate you so much. Thank you for joining in for today's reading. And until the next one, please do take good care of yourself. Bye for now. Hello and welcome in. If you chose this abundance card as the overall energy that resonated most with you today. This is going to be your reading. And I'm right away seeing you as somebody who is kind of in an ethereal state at this time, where you maybe have even been spending a lot of times in your thoughts or a lot of time in the spiritual plane. It's bringing you into a season right now where things are kind of growing up and sprouting around you. And this could be seeds that you have planted. This could be things that you've been cultivating for a while, or it could just be also a community like a soul tribe being called in at this time. I see you being the type of person who naturally things just work out for you, and this is no different. When you need something, the universe knows what you need and is going to respond to you. All right, I see you being faced right now with a choice that's going to place you in the way of being able to receive a passionate offer. Okay. And this could be something passionate in the way of something that you're really passionate about, the opportunity to spend more time doing something you're really passionate about, or this could be an offer coming in from someone who feels very passionately about you. So let's go ahead and get some more information now about this choice, about the paths that are being presented to you at this time, so that you can choose the one that is most aligned with you and your desires. Here's your choice we're seeing here. You're having a choice about whether or not you're going to get more information to gather clarity, whether or not you're wanting to give up hope, whether or not you're wanting to continue to kind of stay in that airy kind of mind headspace, or whether or not you're wanting to come back down and be a little bit more grounded. Okay. I see you taking a move in a way that's going to put you in an energy of being very fulfilled. It's illuminating you very much. You've already gotten to the point of getting the information and the knowledge that you need. So if you say yes, you're going to be just fine to move forward on this path and see what comes next. If you're not quite ready yet, though, it may be putting you into an energy where you're forced to kind of take things a little bit slower, but it's still going to bring you on a new journey. You can trust and rest assured that it's not going to stop there. You're going to have to move forward in a way where it's going to feel like an adventure one way or the other. What more can we see right now about this more favorable outcome on the left side here with the sun? Definitely for some people, this is going to be coming out of that 5D space and living more in the 3D. Yeah, and being able to get to a point where you're able to put the work in, but you are going to be able to do it. And you're going to remain the type of person who's still very in touch with your intuition. You've gotten enough inner wisdom at this point, but you will still be able to be grounded in a way in reality. Okay? Knowing that you're not delusional, knowing that a lot of the abundance and a lot of the feelings and a lot of the experience that you've been having and calling in has been happening to you, but being able to accept it in a way that you integrate it into your everyday life. So now what more can we see here? If you're not going to be ready to take that step at this time, what is unfolding on the path? Putting you in a situation of having to kind of balance things out a little bit, putting you in a situation of really needing to see things from a different perspective, still having maybe some realizations, but in a completely different way. And it's from a change in perspective. And you're going to be manifesting in the closing of a cycle that you've worked really hard for. So it's going to push you forward, but in a slower pace. You're going to get there either way. Looks like that's what's intended for you. Anything else we would need to see here about this Two of Wands, this decision? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do it. If you're feeling that it's going to put you in a state of lack where you're not bringing in as much abundance, where you're not as connected to your spiritual guides, and if it's going to put you in a situation where you're not able to manifest these things in, don't worry about that because that's not the case. That's not the case at all. What more can we see into this energy and messages for you as you move forward and kind of meditate and ruminate on these paths before you? Kind of move with the flow. When the time is right and you are presented with opportunities to ground yourself, when you're presented with opportunities to make those changes, you're going to know. Repeating message here. It's destined for you one way or the other. It's going to come back around to you no matter what. Don't be afraid to let things go. And when you've planted your seeds, sometimes that can be kind of frustrating. It's taking a while for it to cultivate, but not being afraid to kind of let the time take its course. Allow divine timing to play its role. And as things play out, the buildup can be quite intense, I know, can put you in an energy of anticipation that can sometimes be a little bit uncomfortable, not knowing how things are going to turn out. But you have to be able to release that and surrender to the outcome in order to be able to bring in more abundance and bring in more awakening and bring in more connection with that spiritual energy or that knowledge that you seek. So now we're going to close it out today by just seeing what archetypes, what messages want to channel through that are going to lead you forward now, because I know you're going to be spending some time working on this decision, and I would like you to be able to make the best, most informed decision possible. All right. Yeah. So abundance follows you wherever you go. And it's definitely something where you've had to work a little bit and you've had to be the person who kind of stands out, but you have an opportunity right now to kind of take a step back and not have to work so hard. And that message is really coming through for you strongly, not to be afraid to release this and let this go, not being afraid to trust that you have put in the time and that your aim is true and that things are going to now take you to the next level and move you forward. So just kind of releasing any tension and staying ready and putting yourself in a place where you're open to receiving because you do deserve that and you have cultivated a lot of abundance and prosperity in your life. So knowing that you don't have to be afraid of that lack mindset, knowing that you don't have to be sitting or waiting for the other shoe to drop, and that these things really are coming into you. It's not something where you have to be thinking, is this an illusion or is there a catch here? Because you have a strong spiritual light. You are somebody who reveals truths. You are also the type of person who can be truthful with yourself. All right, so it's going to allow you to see things differently. Either way, if you just try letting go of this and try releasing your expectations, being more flexible will also allow things to align more quickly for you. And that is a beautiful message. If you saw any of the other cards that you resonated with and you're feeling like checking out those messages, I would encourage you to do so. There could definitely be some value there for you as well. But if this is where you're leaving it off for today, I really do appreciate your support and your presence here. And until the next time, please do take good care of yourself. Bye for now. All right. Hi, and welcome into you if you chose the Trust card for the overall energy of your reading today, then this one is for you. I'm seeing here right away someone who needs to really trust their intuition more and trust themselves. But I'm also seeing there may be someone here with an intuitive sense about trust that's tied into interactions that you have with other people, where there maybe have been something that rocked the boat recently. And now you're just trying to get through to a point where you can kind of know and believe that some of these things that you've been told or some of these things that you've been sensing are going to actually happen for you. So I definitely am also seeing here you are typically someone who is very reliable. You're someone who, regardless of what's going on around you, you show up over and over again. And for that reason, other people have been able to typically place their trust in you. But that's not always reflected back to you in the same way that you're putting it out there. And it may be putting you in a situation right now of needing to kind of change things up, change the scenery, or kind of go on a little bit of a different path. So let's take a look and see what's going to be unfolding in the energy around you, because a choice is going to be presented to you soon, and we're wanting to know how that's going to tie into the energy of trust and what this choice is. So that's going to be the first thing we take a look at here. So what is this choice? All right, so being able to find mental clarity, being able to be in a place of calming down, being able to be in a place where, once again, you can trust things and where people can trust you, being able to be the stable person, the one who holds true. All right, this choice is going to be tied into what you are able to accomplish. And if you're able to accomplish all of the things that you're wanting to accomplish, it's going to put you in a situation where you're finally able to rest, taking a step back, going within, introspecting, and also coming to a point of having some new ideas that you're ready to explore. All right. If you're not going to take that step, it's going to put you in a place of restorative kind of self-love energy where you're going back and giving to yourself again. Yeah, where you're kind of going back, starting over, giving to yourself again in a way that really nurtures your inner child and does heal you and allow you to grow. So, what can we see more about the first path? It's going to put you in a situation of really manifesting in change, change that happens quickly, and it almost feels magical how it unfolds. It almost feels like because of all the work that you put in, and because you get to the point where you are able to release, let go, be calm, and allow it to flow through, you're taking strength and control of the situation here, and it's putting you in a more restful state that allows you to manifest from a place of abundance very quickly. And what about in the opposite path? If you're having to go back and do a little bit more self love and inner child healing at this time, I'm seeing that it is going to be putting you into a situation that maybe is closing a distance and forcing you to kind of have to take a little bit of a separation from something that you were once really connected with so that you can give back to yourself. So, closing a distance with yourself and having a separation from whatever the other energy was that was preventing you from really being able to fully trust and be in your power. What more can we see here? And it's kind of one of those things where you're just giving back to yourself, mind, body, and soul. Yep. And once again, closing distance. It's going to be something where you reconnect with yourself, where your ideas are something that you're now giving more energy to, and you're going to be pursuing that with more passion. Interesting. You'll have to let me know how this turns out. And in the meantime, I want to pull through a little bit more guidance for you before you go so that we can get more information into your overall energy moving forward as you are meditating on this choice here. Being able to stick with what you know to be true, being able to really be the type of person who can remain grounded. And this came out in the first pile as well, so there may be some messages there for you. Yeah, doing that inner healing and that work, not being afraid to face your inner shadow And knowing that can sometimes be a strength once you've conquered that, especially. I see you here really listening to yourself and allowing yourself to move forward with free will and not allowing yourself to be controlled by expectations or social norms. But at the same time, don't forget that the reminder here was being able to tap more into that energy of trust, especially after maybe going through a time where things were a little bit more dry, where there could have been some hardship and there could have been a lack of emotional clarity or communication. So, trust is important, and that's really what we're seeing here overall. So, just remembering that with that comes the free will. You also have the choice of whether or not you're going to see the best in people and whether or not you're going to assume that they have good intentions. So, that's part of your free will as well. That's just a message for someone. This last little bit of oracle guidance is intended to be some archetypes and some messages that will channel through for you now as you're moving forward here. It is going to most likely really tie everything in together. And we do see definitely this putting you into a stage of growth. But you are the person who has, up to this point, been the protector. You are the person who, up to this point, has led the way. And that can be part of the reason why it's kind of hard to let go right now, because you're used to being the one who's always steering things and driving things forward. But knowing that you are safe and knowing that there are forces around you that are guiding you and guiding your path as well, you're protected. And you're the type of person who can ease back into that softness a little bit, where you are typically someone who has to be tough on the exterior. You need to be able to take a break sometimes, though, so that you can take in the different things that are around you and seeing the details of life and being able to connect with others in a more meaningful way, which is hard to do when you're always placing so much burden on yourself to always be the achiever or maybe even the overachiever in some situations. And if you're going to let go of something, know that it's going to come back to you tenfold. And know that when it comes back to you, it's coming back to you better. And know that that's for a purpose and for a reason. And know that whatever it is that has moved through your life at this point in time has left a lasting impression on your energy, and that is part of your current form as well. Something is going to be coming into your life that's really going to allow you to expand in a way that you're able to see that as you go back through some of your thoughts at this time. And if you're taking the journey of going down the path of more of the self love and leading to a new beginning, knowing that the seeds that you have planted or the seeds that you will be planting at that time are going to grow and it's just going to come back to you in a very beautiful and abundant way. Sometimes things end and it's going to change things for you, but it also gives an opportunity for reflection, and you can carry that energy with you, carry it forward. It's a transformation, because I also see the number 6 here repeating, and that would be a call to reflect. Reflect on really how powerful you are and how powerful your choices are, which makes a lot of sense that this is where we're leaving this off. If you decide to go back and watch some of the other messages here today because you felt that you resonated with one of the other piles, go ahead and do that. There could be some messages for you there as well. And if you watched through the whole video, I really do appreciate it. Your support here on the channel is very meaningful to me. That's where we're going to go ahead and leave things off. So until the next one, I hope that you do take good care of yourself. Bye for now.